opportunity to share a little bit of it. Several nights ago, I think, I was looking for a restaurant that would close late, looking for food. And I came across this restaurant, which I had known since I was in high school. And let's hide this restaurant's name. Okay, let's call it Aristocrat. And this is not paid advertisement, but they have the best chicken barbecue in town. And I remembered while eating barbecue, I remembered how I got to know this restaurant. And so let's go back way March of 2009 when I graduated from high school. See, on that day, on the day of my graduation ceremony, my mother could not come with me because the only money left in her pocket was enough for fare, jeepney fare for one person. The money she had left was only enough for me to get to my school and go back home. And so that morning, I went to school, I went to my graduation ceremony with no father, no mother in the crowd. And all of my classmates, they had everybody, their whole family in the crowd. All of their family taking pictures and all of them talking about what their plans would be after. I was supposed to go home straight after my graduation ceremony. But then, I have a best friend who was then so good to me, and her entire family invited me to go to the restaurant with them. And so that morning, our Team Supreme Pegasus 3 Elizabeth may not have been there during my graduation ceremony, but it wasn't a lonely experience at all, because I was able to eat a very good chicken barbecue. And not only that, but my friend's family even gave me takeaway so that I could bring food to my mother and celebrate with her at home. And a lot of us, we have survived all these years because of good people around us. Pwede bang palakpakan natin yan? And so I kept this story inside all these years. And that is why 6 years ago, March of 2017, when I first attended my very first event inside Riway International, an event exactly like this in Taipei, Taiwan. It's called a Leaders Recognition Night. I saw men in their black suit, and I saw thousands of them go up the stage to receive their trophies and to receive their awards. And I saw men in their black suits wearing happy faces. And they were all looking very successful. They were all looking rich and happy and fulfilled. And that day in March of 2017, I vowed to myself that one day I will go up the stage and I will look happy, fulfilled, and successful. And today, I am not alone, because inside this room are thousands of Filipinos who are happy, successful, and fulfilled because of Riway International. But you see, we have to understand why people become successful inside Riway. Tama ba? Yes. See, the people who go up here the stage are not successful just because of talent. They're not successful merely because of skills. Because skills you can master overnight. But they are successful today, two things. Because they are persistent. And like what James has said, because they are stubborn. When everybody else believes that they do not deserve to be that they're not worthy of success, Riway says you are worthy of success. Pwede ba palakpakan natin sila? But to master these skills, to be talented, and to be persistent, these are still not enough. Because if we are in an environment that is not designed to help people achieve success, then all of these things will be put to waste. The very reason why thousands of people are able to go up this stage happy, fulfilled, and successful, it's because from the very beginning, Riway International is designed to to help and teach people become successful. So, March of 2017, kanang ginaingon nga, wag yun kayo nahibawan, patingoy-tingoy mong dagway. Sa mga wala nakasabot, okay, paki-translate na lang sa katapat na to. That day, you know, I realized that if I continue to do nothing, that if I continue to just let things happen to me, then I would be in a far worse situation. And so that same day, I decided to do the most sensible thing, and that is to let go of all my fears and doubts, and that is to trust Riway system. That day, I painted a very clear image of what would become of me months from then, years from then. I painted an image, and I never looked back. And today, Team Kayumanggi is Team Supreme Pegasus 7. And a lot of Filipinos as well are becoming successful. See, sometimes we dwell so much on what we would lose that we lose sight of the things that we could possibly gain. March of 2017, I had nothing to lose. I had nothing to lose but my fears and doubts and the chains of poverty. Today, we are where we are today because of Riway International. Pwede bang palakpakan natin sa Riway? So, after 6 years so far of doing this business, earlier this month, I'm very much grateful that I was invited to a date with the boss, 36,000 feet above sea level, on his private jet, flight from Taipei, Taiwan to Manila, Philippines. And during that flight, you know, I don't know why, today I already consider myself half Chinese. You know why? Why? Because I'm already so good at using chopsticks. And so on that plane ride, when the flight attendant served us sushi, you know sushi, right? It's not Chinese food, but still you use chopsticks, right? I was so confident to eat boss seated across me. But I don't know why, after all these years of using chopsticks, for the first time, wala na shoot ang sushi sa akong bakbak, natagak tanan sa akong sinila.
Hindi daw na-shoot.
And so that night, I decided not to eat anymore. So when I got home that night, I opened the fridge, I opened the cabinet because I was so hungry, remember? And the only thing that I could find was 555 sardines. And at that night, I was the luckiest girl on earth, flying solo with the boss, cloud 9. But then when I got home, I was eating sardines and I was laughing to myself. Because people would think of you so highly. Private ride with the boss. But what they don't know, but now you know, I was eating sardines that night. But I tell you, it was the best sardine experience my whole life. And I was eating sardines. And I remembered the story that our general manager, James Shong, once shared with me. It's the story of the catfish. Have you guys heard of the story of catfish? So, a long time ago, there was a fisherman who would catch sardines. And for several years, he would try a lot of methods on how to keep these sardines alive. But every time, from the sea to the port, every time he would look at the sardines, everything is dead. And so one day, upon traveling to the port, ready to sell his one full ice box of sardines, he was very much surprised to find that for the first time in forever, all of the sardines were alive. And so he took out the sardines one by one, very surprised and wondering how come they're all alive. And at the bottom of the ice box was a catfish. Turns out that catfish loves to eat sardines. And the reason why the sardines were alive, it's because they were all fighting for their lives because they were all chased by the catfish. Pwede bang palakpakan natin? Why am I sharing this? See, I just realized that a lot of Filipinos, including myself, we would always live at the mercy of others. And people would ask me, how do we become successful? And to be completely honest, we may not always find the right words. We may not always find the most motivating or inspiring words. But one thing I can tell you, I have a catfish. And my catfish is that aristocrat story. Which means that my catfish is I don't want to live at the mercy of others. Because all my life, I was living at the mercy of others. Today, if you are a wife and you are not making any money, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you are at the mercy of your husband. Today, if you are a child, newly graduate, and you are not making any money, I'm so sorry to tell you, but you are at the mercy of your parents. Today, if you are sick with a serious illness, I'm sorry to tell you, but you are at the mercy of your disease. All my life, I was at the mercy of friends. I was at the mercy of people I know. But because of Freeway International, I think we are no longer at the mercy of anyone. To the people inside this house, paint a very clear picture of what you want to become months from now or years from now. Because eventually, we become who we think. We become what we always think of ourselves. But please, all these trophies and all these awards are just but mere tangible proof of hard work and effort. Tama ba?
Yes.
Because the boss says that true success is when you are no longer working for money. The boss says, Mr. Lim Boon Hong says, that true success is when you build your own success, building on the success of the people who surround you. Pwede bang palakpakan natin yan? Today, Philippines, do not be at the mercy of anyone. Work so hard, that you will no longer be at the mercy of the husband, or the wife, or the children, or your disease, or your poverty. Because today, Freeway International is making a way for us. Today, work not only for money, work not only for this stage, but work for freedom. That sense of significance and purpose and meaning and value. Because these things, nobody will ever be able to take away from you. So today onwards, imagine 3 months from now or a year from now, what will become of you. And I hope that you don't only dream of this stage. I hope that you dream of becoming a person of freedom, a person, a true winner inside Freeway International. And so, once again, congratulations to all of the star achievers and the team elite inside this house. For your success is a proof to people outside that Freeway is real. And to the entire Philippines, do not lose hope and do not easily give up. Because remember, Freeway is always finding ways to give everybody an equal chance of becoming successful. And so today, everything that Freeway is doing is to help us become number one in the future. Are you excited, Philippines? You know, 6 years ago, I dreamt of flying to Taiwan to work as a factory worker. But today, because of Freeway International, I and the team and the entire Freeway Philippines will be flying abroad, no longer to work, but to become business leaders around the world. And these are the things